Hello YouTube, this is Silver Satoshi. This is just a little video to let you know what the format, kind of the layout of the channel is going to be. Of course, as we collect viewers, we would appreciate all of your input. Maybe we can change things up a little bit. Some of you may not be aware, these are actually GPU miners. These are 1660 Supers. I got 7 of them working right now. One of them needs to have the thermal pads replaced. These are EVGA GeForce 1070 Supers, along with a Asus 1070 Ti and a 1080 Ti MSI GeForce GTX. That's another rig. Like I said, these are 2 separate rigs. Over here we got a 1050 Ti with 6 cards running. Run all 3 rigs on NiceHash, which for those of you who aren't familiar with that, there's a simple way to hook your computer up to the to NiceHash. They will mine whatever coin is best suited for your GPU and pay you out in Bitcoin or Satoshis. And that's the main focus of this channel, is we want to talk about Satoshis. Satoshis are 100 million, a fraction of a Bitcoin. It takes 100 million Satoshis to equal a Bitcoin. And I think when more people understand that you don't have to spend $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 to get a Bitcoin, that you can just buy some Satoshis and invest, they might get a little better understanding, and maybe the economy will take off, maybe some adoption will take place. For those of you who are concerned about the environment, which I am myself, I do have these 3 rigs. I realize they are older cards. Most of these cards are between 6 and 7 years old. I'm sorry, 5 and 6 years old. I do have a 4.5 kilowatt grid-tied solar system. I have a reverse net monitor which tells me exactly how many watts I produce a day. By adjusting the power usage on these rigs, I can kind of net zero that out. I get as close as I can in order to make sure that I'm not contributing to my carbon footprint with these miners. A lot of you want to know why. Maybe want to know why I don't go to a more efficient card like the 30 series, the 40 series, or even the 20 series. Well, these cards are bought and paid for. They paid for themselves, oh gosh, I don't know how many times over. They purchased my solar system. They purchased this air handler. They purchased this tent that it's in. If you're wondering why it's in a tent, it's just easier to control the environment with them being in a tent. You have to keep a lot of airflow in order to keep these cards cool. They do run a little hot when they're mining. But yeah, so I try to keep that at a net zero. I monitor it at least on a weekly basis and adjust my power settings on my cards accordingly. If I do come up with an excess of power usage, then I will adjust down and make that up. It's very important to me to keep these at a net zero. So we also we like to 3D print too. 3D printer's down right now. We're waiting on a head for it, and we're thinking about designing and printing, maybe 3D printing our own Satoshi coin. And I'll show you a little bit more about why we want to do that here in just a second. But like I said, basically for those of you who don't know, we do not mine Bitcoin directly. We put all of our rigs on NiceHash. They mine whatever coin suits that particular card that they're most efficient on and can mine the most of, and then we get paid out in Bitcoin or Satoshis. These rigs make about 11,000 to 12,000 Satoshis a day. If you ask people in the mining world, that's not a whole lot, but it all depends on the marketplace, difficulty levels, and we'll get into that in future videos. But for right now, I just want to introduce you to what my channel is going to be about. And if you'll stand by just a minute, we'll show you how we're going to make this all work.